Beloved, listen carefully. There is a power within your words that can shape the universe around you. You were not created to live in lack, defeat, or poverty. You were created in the image of the Creator Himself. And what does a creator do? A creator speaks and things come into being. When God said, "Let there be light," the universe had no choice but to obey. The moment He spoke, creation responded. In the same way, your words are not empty. They carry the energy of faith, destiny, and divine authority. So today, I will give you one sentence, a faith-filled declaration that can open the gates of financial abundance and divine provision. Here it is: money flows to me easily, continuously, and abundantly because I am aligned with divine purpose and heavenly wisdom. You do not need to chant this 100 times. You do not need to strive or struggle. Speak it once, but speak it with faith. Speak it with conviction. Speak it as if heaven itself is standing behind your words. You see, the power is not in repetition. The power is in revelation. When your heart catches fire with understanding, when your mind and spirit unite with this truth, one word can move mountains. Do not say, "I am poor." Do not say, "I have nothing." Those are seeds of lack. But when you declare, "Money flows to me easily, continuously, and abundantly," you are planting seeds of prosperity in the soil of your spirit. The world will try to tell you it's impossible, that success is for a few, that wealth is limited. But heaven's resources never run dry. There is no shortage in God's kingdom. The only limit is the one we place with our words and our doubt. So today, I invite you to align your speech with divine abundance. Speak that one sentence with faith and then act in confidence. Opportunities will arise. Ideas will come. The right connections will appear. Because when faith speaks, heaven listens and the earth responds. Your words create your world. From the very beginning of time, creation itself was born through spoken words. The universe was silent until a voice broke the stillness and said, "Let there be." At that moment, energy moved, light appeared, and form took shape out of nothing. That same creative force, that same divine breath has been placed inside every human being. When you speak, you do not simply make sound. You release power. Your words are spiritual containers carrying either life or death, abundance or lack, victory or defeat. Every word you utter plants a seed in the garden of your life, and in time, that seed produces fruit. Many people underestimate the invisible architecture of speech. They speak carelessly, unaware that each word is shaping tomorrow. When someone says, "I can't," "I'm broke," or "nothing ever works for me," they are prophesying their own future. Those words echo through their subconscious mind, instructing their beliefs and aligning their actions with limitation. Before long, what they declared becomes their reality. But when a person learns to speak faith, to speak possibility, and to speak divine abundance, the same creative law begins to work in their favor. The atmosphere around them responds because words carry vibration, and vibration moves matter. This is not merely poetic, it is spiritual law. Whatever you consistently speak and believe becomes the blueprint that unseen forces build upon. If your words are filled with fear, you will attract circumstances that confirm that fear. But if your words are filled with faith, your environment rearranges itself to serve that faith. The tongue, though small, governs the entire course of life. It can turn a storm into peace, poverty into provision, and confusion into clarity. Think of your speech as a divine command to the universe. Every statement is an instruction to creation. When you speak with conviction, you are not begging life to be kind to you. You are authorizing it to manifest your intention. You are giving direction to the flow of unseen energy that responds to authority. The universe does not react to weakness or doubt. It responds to certainty. When you speak with faith, you release that certainty. You are saying to the invisible, "Take shape." There is a reason why great people guard their words. They understand that silence is better than doubt, and that careless talk is a thief of destiny. If you fill your speech with negativity, you are constantly undoing the work of faith. But when you speak words of blessing, gratitude, and prosperity, you are aligning your life with divine order. Each positive declaration strengthens the spiritual structure that supports your destiny. You begin to see life differently. You begin to attract ideas, people, and opportunities that mirror your confession. Even your inner dialogue matters. The words you whisper to yourself in quiet moments are creative forces. They shape how you think, how you feel, and how you act. When your inner language agrees with divine truth, your external world must align with it. Speak of yourself as strong, capable, favored, and blessed, even if circumstances seem opposite. Words spoken in faith pull unseen possibilities into the realm of reality. Therefore, use your mouth as an instrument of creation, not destruction. Speak light where there is darkness. Speak abundance where there is lack. Speak peace where there is turmoil. The world you live in today is largely a reflection of the words you spoke yesterday. Change your words and you begin to transform your world. The power has been within you all along, waiting for you to speak. Faith gives power to words. Words by themselves are sounds, vibrations in the air, but when they are charged with faith, they become creative energy that moves the unseen. Faith is the spiritual electricity that activates the spoken word. Without faith, words fall flat, they echo without effect. But when faith rises within the heart and joins with speech, it becomes a command to reality. The secret is not in how many times something is said, but in the confidence with which it is spoken. When you believe with your whole being, even one declaration can shake heaven and earth. Faith transforms words from mere expressions into instruments of creation. It draws its strength from conviction, not repetition. You can repeat a sentence 1,000 times and see no change if your heart doubts it, yet one phrase spoken with absolute certainty can alter the course of your destiny. Faith makes your speech vibrate with authority. It releases a sound that the spiritual realm recognizes and obeys. Everything around you, energy, people, opportunities, responds to the tone of belief behind your words. Faith does not beg, it declares. It does not hope timidly, it knows boldly. When a person speaks from faith, their words are not requests, they are manifestations. Faith says, it is done even before it appears. That kind of speech carries divine weight. It transcends the logic of the mind and taps into the creative dimension where all things are possible. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen idea and the seen result. Words filled with faith walk across that bridge and bring the promise into manifestation. Faith-filled words do not depend on evidence, they create evidence. When you say, I am provided for, even when your bank account says otherwise, you are not lying, you are calling forth what already exists in the spiritual realm. Faith knows that what you say in agreement with divine truth must eventually appear in the natural world. The law of faith is unshakable. Whatever you believe deeply and speak boldly must come to pass. The unseen world always yields to the authority of faith. Doubt, on the other hand, is like static in the frequency of creation. It weakens your signal and interrupts the manifestation process. When faith speaks, it is clear and confident. When doubt speaks, it is hesitant and fearful. The universe cannot respond to confusion, it only responds to clarity. So when you speak your desires, your affirmations, or your declarations, do not let them be diluted by uncertainty. Let them be saturated with faith. Feel the truth of what you say, visualize it as already real. Speak as one who knows, not one who wishes. Faith gives words the power to move matter. It is the inner conviction that your voice carries divine authority. It is the certainty that when you speak, something shifts. The great difference between empty affirmation and powerful declaration lies in this invisible force called faith. The person who truly believes what they say sends out a vibration that cannot be ignored. It travels through time and circumstance until it finds a way to express itself in reality. Every miracle begins with faith expressed through words. When faith is released through your mouth, it becomes a decree, not a suggestion. Faith is not loudness, it is assurance. Even a whisper of faith carries more weight than 1,000 fearful cries. When you speak with faith, you are aligning your will with divine law. You are saying, let it be, and the creative universe echoes back, it is done. A faith makes your words alive. It gives them substance. It turns imagination into manifestation. The world around you listens not just to what you say, but to what you believe when you say it. Words without faith are noise. Words with faith are power. When faith and speech unite, the impossible becomes possible, and your voice becomes the very instrument through which creation answers your desire. Speak abundance, not lack. Every word that leaves your mouth is a seed that will one day grow into the reality you experience. When you speak words of scarcity, you are planting weeds in the garden of your life. When you speak words of abundance, you are sowing trees that bear fruit in every season. What you consistently say becomes the vibration that shapes your circumstances. Your speech sets the tone for the energy around you, and that energy eventually returns to you multiplied. The universe mirrors what it hears you declare. If you speak of poverty, you invite more of it. If you speak of wealth, joy, and plenty, you create space for those things to appear. The reason so many people struggle to move forward is that their words contradict their desires. They pray for increase but speak of limitation. They dream of prosperity but constantly confess, I can't afford it, or things never work out for me. Those statements close the door to opportunity. They reinforce the belief that there is not enough. When your words agree with lack, your life aligns with lack. The mouth is a powerful instrument, one that can either call forth blessings or block them. The key is to make your speech serve your destiny, not your doubt. Speaking abundance does not mean denying reality, it means choosing a higher truth. You may see an empty wallet, but you declare, "My needs are met and more." You may face challenges, but you affirm, "I am surrounded by divine provision." Words of abundance are not lies, they are faith-filled seeds that summon unseen supply. The moment you change your speech, you begin to change your vibration. You start to attract people, ideas, and opportunities that resonate with abundance. The external world always follows the internal language. The mind listens to the mouth. When you speak abundance, your subconscious begins to search for ways to prove those words true. It notices possibilities you once ignored. It opens your creativity, sharpens your intuition, and draws your attention to resources that can lift you higher. But when you speak lack, the mind does the same in reverse. It searches for evidence of limitation. It magnifies your fears and blinds you to potential. That is why you must be intentional with every word. Speak as one who expects goodness, not as one who fears disappointment. Abundant speech carries gratitude. It says, "Thank you for what I have," even before the blessing appears. Gratitude is the language of increase. When you speak thankfully, you signal to the universe that you recognize the flow of provision, and that recognition multiplies it. A grateful heart and abundant words open channels of prosperity that complaining and negativity close. Every time you say, "I am thankful for the blessings on the way," you prepare the ground for more to come. To speak abundance is to align yourself with divine order. The Creator never speaks scarcity. In nature, there is always overflow. The ocean never runs out of water. The sun never stops shining. And the earth keeps producing harvest season after season. Lack is a mindset, not a reality. When your words reflect the limitless nature of creation, you step into the same rhythm of overflow. You begin to experience provision that feels effortless because your speech harmonizes with the abundance that already exists. Choose to make abundance your language. Even when things seem small, declare growth. Even when progress feels slow, speak of expansion. Every sentence filled with faith expands your capacity to receive. As you keep speaking abundance, the energy of those words builds momentum. Soon, what you once said in hope becomes what you now live in reality. The mouth sets the direction of the future. When you speak abundance, you are not just describing your life, you are designing it. Money flows to me easily, continuously, and abundantly because I am aligned with divine purpose and heavenly wisdom. These words are not just a statement, they are a declaration of spiritual truth. When spoken with faith and understanding, they awaken the flow of provision that has always been available, but often blocked by fear and doubt. This sentence carries both the vibration of prosperity and the essence of divine alignment. It reminds you that abundance is not a struggle, it is a natural expression of a life in harmony with higher purpose. When you say that money flows to you easily, you are breaking the belief that wealth must come through hardship or suffering. You are replacing the old mindset of toil and scarcity with the truth that divine supply moves freely toward those who walk in wisdom. Ease does not mean laziness, it means grace. It means doors open at the right time, people are drawn to support your vision, and opportunities come into your path without force. Life becomes a river instead of a battle. When you speak that money flows continuously, you are declaring that your prosperity is not seasonal or unstable. You are rejecting the pattern of feast and famine. Divine provision is constant, not erratic. The flow of abundance mirrors the rhythm of breath, steady, natural, and unending. There may be waves and fluctuations, but the current never stops. By affirming continuity, you align your consciousness with the eternal flow of giving and receiving that sustains all creation. You stop clinging in fear and start trusting in divine rhythm. When you say that money flows abundantly, you open your spirit to overflow. Abundance means more than enough, enough to bless others, enough to expand your dreams, enough to live in freedom. You are not meant to survive, you are meant to thrive. Abundance allows you to express generosity, to fulfill your calling, and to bring light to others. There is no holiness in lack. True abundance is sacred because it reflects the generosity of the Creator Himself. The more you allow abundance to flow through you, the more the divine current expands. The second half of the sentence reveals the foundation of prosperity, alignment with divine purpose and heavenly wisdom. Without alignment, the flow becomes blocked. Money without purpose brings anxiety and confusion, but money guided by purpose becomes a tool for transformation. When your goals, actions, and values harmonize with higher principles, the universe supports you. Doors open not by chance but by design. Opportunities arrive that match your spiritual identity. You do not chase wealth, wealth recognizes you. Divine purpose connects your prosperity to meaning. You begin to see money not as an idol to serve, but as a servant to purpose. It becomes a sacred instrument to expand love, truth, and creativity. When you are aligned with divine purpose, even your financial desires are purified. They become expressions of growth, contribution, and fulfillment. You attract wealth not for greed but for good. Heavenly wisdom is the guidance that keeps you balanced on this path. It teaches discernment, patience, and gratitude. Wisdom shows you when to act, when to wait, and how to handle blessings responsibly. Without wisdom, abundance can be wasted. With it, abundance multiplies. Heavenly wisdom helps you see opportunities that others overlook and warns you of distractions that lead to loss. It keeps your prosperity rooted in peace, not pride. Each phrase of this declaration is a key. Together, they unlock a spiritual truth. You are not separate from abundance. You are a channel of it. The flow of money is simply the reflection of energy moving through alignment and purpose. When you speak these words with conviction, you are not asking for wealth. You are acknowledging that divine supply already surrounds you, waiting for your awareness to open. This sentence is not a wish. It is a spiritual command that activates the law of abundance through alignment, faith, and wisdom. Revelation is greater than repetition. Many people believe that by repeating a phrase countless times, they can force the universe to respond, but true power does not come from how often you speak. It comes from the depth of your understanding. Words without revelation are like empty shells, making sound but carrying no life. Revelation fills those words with spirit and authority. It is the moment when truth moves from the mind into the heart, when what you say is no longer an idea but a living conviction within you. Repetition may train the lips, but revelation transforms the soul. When you speak something from revelation, you are not merely quoting, you are declaring from experience and inner knowing. It is the difference between saying, "I am abundant," because you were told to, and saying it because you have felt the reality of divine provision within your spirit. Once revelation dawns, even one spoken word carries the weight of heaven. That single word can shift circumstances, because it is no longer just your voice speaking. It is truth flowing through you. Repetition seeks to convince the mind, but revelation awakens the spirit. There is value in repetition when it leads you to deeper understanding, but the danger is when it becomes mechanical. Many people recite affirmations every day, but see no change because their heart remains disconnected. They speak the words but do not feel the power behind them. They say, "I am blessed," but doubt it inside. They repeat, "I am prosperous," but still believe in scarcity. Without revelation, repetition is noise. But once revelation takes root, even silence radiates power. Revelation turns knowledge into wisdom. You may read about abundance, hear about faith, and memorize principles, but until you receive revelation, those ideas remain external. Revelation is personal. It is the moment divine truth becomes real to you. You can repeat, "Money flows to me easily," 1,000 times. But if you do not truly grasp that you are one with the flow of divine supply, the words will not manifest their full potential. Once revelation comes, you no longer struggle to believe, you simply know. Repetition is an act of effort. Revelation is an act of awakening. When revelation enters, struggle ends because you finally see what was already true. You realize that abundance was never outside of you. It was always within, waiting to be acknowledged. That understanding gives your words creative energy. When you speak after receiving revelation, you speak as one who commands, not as one who pleads. There is certainty in your tone, confidence in your posture, and peace in your spirit. The great difference between empty speech and powerful speech lies in this inner revelation. A single phrase spoken with revelation can transform your reality faster than hours of affirmations without belief. When you understand the principle behind your words, you align with divine law, and divine law always responds. Repetition can prepare the ground, but revelation plants the seed that grows. Revelation is light entering the soul. It is when you see beyond appearances and recognize the divine truth behind all things. When you declare abundance from revelation, you are not hoping, it is already done in your spirit. You are not convincing the universe, it already agrees with you. You are simply voicing what heaven has already decreed. That is why one revelation-filled statement can carry the power of a lifetime of effort. Many repeat because they fear forgetting. Those who have revelation do not need to remember. They have become one with the truth. When revelation comes, repetition transforms into gratitude. You no longer say it to make it happen. You say it to celebrate that it is already happening. That is the highest level of manifestation, when your words are no longer requests but reflections of divine awareness. Repetition is practice, but revelation is power. Once truth is revealed to your heart, even a whisper carries more force than 1,000 declarations without faith. Heaven's abundance is limitless. There is no end to divine supply, no ceiling to what can be given, no shortage in the resources of the universe. The Creator did not design life to be small or restricted. Everything in existence reflects overflow. The oceans stretch endlessly, the stars cannot be counted, the air never runs out, and the earth continually produces. Everywhere you look, the signature of divine abundance is written across creation. Lack is not part of the divine order. It is a distortion created by fear, disbelief, and separation from spiritual truth. When you align yourself with the understanding that heaven's resources are infinite, your life begins to mirror that same abundance. True abundance is not measured by numbers in a bank account, but by the awareness that provision flows from an inexhaustible source. When you know that the universe is filled with divine generosity, you stop grasping and start receiving. You move from anxiety to trust, from striving to alignment. There is no need to compete or compare, because what belongs to you cannot be taken, and what is meant for others cannot be lost. Abundance is not a limited pie where one person's gain is another's loss. Divine supply multiplies, it does not diminish. The more gratitude, generosity, and faith you express, the more the flow expands. Heaven's abundance operates through law, not luck. It is a spiritual current that flows where there is openness, belief, and purpose. When your thoughts and emotions are filled with fear, you build a dam that blocks that current. When your heart is open, grateful, and confident in divine provision, the flow becomes natural. You attract not by force but by resonance. You become a magnet for opportunity, support, and prosperity because your vibration matches the frequency of abundance. This is not mere imagination, it is a spiritual principle. The universe always mirrors the consciousness it perceives. The key is to stop seeing yourself as separate from the source of provision. You are not outside of abundance, trying to reach it. You are a channel through which abundance expresses itself. Heaven's riches flow through people, through ideas, through inspired action. When you align your life with divine wisdom, you become a vessel of that flow. Money, resources, and opportunities come as natural extensions of your alignment. You are not chasing wealth, you are embodying it. Every time you think, speak, and act with faith, you open another channel for abundance to move through you. Heaven's abundance also carries a purpose beyond personal comfort. You are blessed to be a blessing. Divine provision always seeks to multiply goodness, to expand love and uplift others. When you use your blessings wisely, to serve, to give, to build, to heal, the flow increases. Giving never reduces what you have. It enlarges your capacity to receive. The more you share, the more the universe trusts you with greater resources. Greed closes the flow, but generosity opens it wide. That is how heavenly abundance sustains itself. It moves through open hands and open hearts. Fear of loss is the greatest thief of abundance. Many people live as if the supply could run out, holding tightly to what they have. But heaven's storehouse never empties. Every need already has a corresponding provision waiting to manifest. When you rest in that truth, peace replaces worry. You begin to live with confidence that whatever you require will arrive at the right moment, through the right channel. The universe does not operate on shortage, it operates on flow. To live in alignment with heaven's abundance is to live in trust. It is to know that you are supported, that you are part of a vast system of divine generosity that never fails. The more deeply you believe this, the more effortlessly the flow of blessings moves through your life. The supply of heaven is infinite, and when you open yourself to it, you discover that there is never a moment when you are truly without, only moments when you forget how limitless your source truly is. Beloved, as we come to the end of this message, let your heart hold fast to the truth you have received today. You were never created for scarcity or struggle. You were designed for abundance, purpose, and divine overflow. The words you speak are not ordinary sounds. They are sacred keys that unlock the treasures of heaven. When you speak with faith, when you align your thoughts with divine wisdom, and when your purpose flows in harmony with heavenly intention, everything around you begins to respond. You have learned that your words create your world, that faith gives them power, and that speaking abundance releases divine flow. You now know that a single revelation-filled declaration carries more strength than 1,000 empty phrases. You have seen that heaven's supply is limitless, waiting only for your awareness to open the door. So from this day forward, let your speech reflect your destiny. Speak with faith, live with gratitude, and act with confidence. Let your life become a testimony that divine abundance is real and active. As you declare, money flows to me easily, continuously, and abundantly because I am aligned with divine purpose and heavenly wisdom. Do not say it as one who is begging, but as one who already knows it to be true. Believe that the river of provision is already flowing in your direction, touching every area of your life, your finances, your opportunities, your relationships, and your peace of mind. Walk out of this moment with your head lifted high and your heart overflowing with faith. The same creative power that formed the universe is within you. Use it wisely. Speak life, speak light's prosperity. Wherever you go, let your words carry the fragrance of hope and the strength of divine confidence. The world is waiting for your voice of faith to bring transformation. And now, I thank you, dear friends, for listening, for believing, and for opening your hearts to these truths. May divine favor surround you like a shield. May wisdom guide every step you take. May your life overflow with blessings so rich that you become a source of inspiration to others. Go forward in faith, walk in abundance, and remember, you are divinely supported, endlessly loved, and eternally provided for. Thank you, and may your words today create the prosperity you will live in tomorrow. God bless you.